Hey, what's up? I'm Trent Windsor, and we're here in search of the perfect shuffle. This week, there's been a lot of really great new music. The New Year lull is finally over, and we've got some really solid additions for the playlist that I think you're really gonna like. There's been about 3 or 4 albums that I really enjoyed all the way through, and I don't really want to review every album, but I'll tell you about my favorite song from the album or a couple of songs that demonstrate what is good about the album, and then it's up to you guys to go check out the rest and determine what you like. Hopefully when you watch this show, you get ideas for new music to listen to, and you get turned on to a couple of new artists. Let's start off with somebody that everybody knows about, and that is Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande has a new single in anticipation for a brand new album. The single is called 7 Rings. Now, 7 Rings is just an absolute savage banger. Oh my gosh. Ariana Grande, she a baddie. Oh, she a baddie. You better watch out, Rihanna. You better watch out, Nicki Minaj. You better watch out, Cardi B, because Ari is here to stay. Actually, Nicki and Ari are good friends, so Nicki, you're fine, probably. Love the beat. The song is an interpolation of favorite things from The Sound of Music with a dark but clean sound that really just shows off what a baddie Ariana is. She sees it, she likes it, she wants it, she got it. She just oozes confidence over a trap beat. She honestly has some great flows on here. She raps a little bit. Nothing too complicated, but really fits with the song. So I would say this one is about 20% skippable. Really awesome song. Go check it out. I've had it on repeat. Next, I have some news. Our good friend, DJ Mustard, is no longer a DJ. He's just a condiment. He's just mustard. And I guess that's something we're all going to have to live with. But don't worry, we still got mustard on that beat, ho. On a new track with Migos called Pure Water. Now this song starts off the exact right way a Migos song should start off, with a good, strong from Quavo. And it just gets better from there. These are the most solid verses Migos have put out in a very long time. I really love Quavo's flow right from the start. Offset is in his usual form, and Takeoff, as he's demonstrated now on his own solo album, brings some pretty great flows himself. It's all set to just this really catchy, infectious beat with a bass so hard that it'll shake your booty for you. I would say this song is also only 20% skippable. Really solid song. Go check it out. Put it on the playlist for your next dance party. Future just dropped his full album, The Wizard. It features a song that I talked about on the last episode, Jumping on a Jet. A couple other singles he'd already released, Crushed Up, which I would definitely suggest going and listening to. One of the tracks, though, on this album I think is worth mentioning and has gained a lot of popularity. It's called First Off, and it features Travis Scott. One perk of this song is you get to find out even more things that Future has that are branded by Louis Vuitton. They got Louis V on their belt. They got Louis V on their luggage, I'm assuming. What else could they have Louis V on? And you'll find out in this song. It's definitely a more subdued, like trippy vibe. Really in tune with a lot of Travis Scott's music, especially Astro World, his most recent album. But I enjoy Future's flow on this song. A respectable feature from Travis Scott himself. Although his ad-libs are so extra, it's just all over the place and you can't get away from it. It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! It's lit! I would say this one's about 35% skippable. Go check it out. Let me know what you think. Next we have a brand new album by Mike Posner. He's that one dude who took a pill in Ibiza to show Avicii that he was cool. But by the time he got sober, he felt 10 years older. And his beard did too. The song I'm about to talk about is called Song About You by Mike Posner. This is just a really gritty track. It's got a really entrancing guitar riff that kind of flows underneath everything but creates the basis for the beat and for the track. I really enjoy Mike Posner's lyrics on this song. Best part about it is that there's not really a rhyme scheme, or at least it starts with a rhyme scheme, and that kind of deteriorates throughout the song. His lyrics are very honest, raw, open, and that's what I really like about this song. He doesn't rely on what rhymes or what would sound good to get his message across. Instead, he just says what he means. I would say it's only 25% skippable. Really solid song. Next, we have a brand new collaboration from Aesop Rock and Tobacco called Malibu Ken. And that's the name of the album as well, Malibu Ken. And this is an album that sounds like all your favorite video game music from the 80s, mixed with a little bit of acid trip. Very psychedelic, a lot of 8-bit synthesizer stuff going into it. Aesop Rock brings some really solid flows to it as well. This specific song, called Tuesday, is oddly enough a rap about how there's a mushroom growing in his car. I guess that's the thin narrative that really ties it together. Honestly, his flow is really great. His lines are really lyrical. He's a very lyrical rapper, and if you love MF Doom, or if you like Royce da 5'9", or if you like Czarface, then you're really gonna enjoy this album by Malibu Ken. Go check out Tuesday. I would say this song is only 30% skippable, so go check that out. Okay, next we have a new full-length album from the artist James Blake. And this album is really, really beautiful. Picturesque all the way through. Great vocals, really pretty electronic production. The first song I want to talk about off of that album is called Mile High, and it features Travis Scott. Travis Scott has been busy. This is probably the most beautiful Travis Scott song of all time. James Blake has a way of taking classic trap themes like money or sexual endeavors, and in his lyrics, he makes them beautiful somehow. For example, in Travis Scott's part of the chorus, he says, "Flexin' like do it sell," illustrating the idea that the flex is just so it sells. Putting out the idea that they're not necessarily self-centered, they just are promoting their brand. And maybe there's an insecurity underneath that layer. Backed by a minimal beat, one of the most beautiful songs on the album really illustrates how he crosses the line between electronic pop singer-songwriter over into hip-hop territory. This song is only about 25% skippable. Go check it out. The second song that I want to talk about on this James Blake album that I really loved is called Don't Miss It. Now, Don't Miss It feels like a piano ballad that's glitched out. It's an electronic production, but it's an altered, distorted piano piece with James Blake's beautiful voice also altered and distorted. He warns not to miss out on life, not to miss out on the things around you. I would say this track is only 15% skippable. Really beautiful track. Next, there's a brand new album by rapper, multi-instrumentalist, producer, Casa Overall, and I really loved it. This album is a mix of jazz, electronic music, and hip-hop, all blended together. The song I really wanted to talk about off this album is called What's New With You. What I really love about this song is that it fits on a playlist with people like A Tribe Called Quest, once again MF Doom, Kanye West, but I think it would also be comfortable in a track with Chet Baker and Buddy Rich. The fusion of pure jazz and rapping really helps to blend the line between rap and poetry and help you kind of see how those can be one and the same. It's entrancing, it's unique, it's understated, yet it's very powerful at the same time. If you really pay attention to the lyrics, which the song makes it easy to do, I think a lot of people can relate to the messages that he sends. Definitely check out the rest of the album, especially the song Do You, which has a little bit more electronic spin on it, which I really, really enjoyed. This song, What's New With You, I would say is only 20% skippable. Please go check out that song. Another new album that's out this week that I've really enjoyed is the album by Toro y Moi. This album is incredible, very funky, really listenable, lots of danceable moments. And the song I wanted to talk about off of this album is called Ordinary Pleasure. When I first listened to this song, it reminded me of my dad. because my dad really introduced me to new wave music, a lot of 80s stuff where they were getting really experimental, really trying out a lot of different things with synths. I came to love it. The other artist he really showed me was Jamiroquai, who's probably disco's modern savior, or at least the last thread that disco has to hold on to. He's a really incredible funky artist that knows how to lay down a groove. I felt like this song, Ordinary Pleasure, and a lot of the tracks on this album felt like a beautiful synthesis of Jamiroquai and the Pet Shop Boys. Just a real great combination of those two, with a modern twist with the vocals that are very relaxed and a little bit more understated, but still really beautiful, from Toro y Moi. The main chorus in this song, which is sung over an incredibly funky bass line, is to maximize all the pleasure, even with all this weather, in the midst of everyday life. Find pleasure in the small things. So you'll catch me this weekend sitting on the toilet, eating Taco Bell, and watching Shrek. Maximizing the pleasure. Here I go. Honestly, this song is a groove, it's danceable. I would say it's only 25% skippable. Really solid song. The last album I want to tell you about that has really caught me this week is by the artist Sharon Van Etten. Sharon Van Etten brings a lot to this album. She's a singer-songwriter, but also she has some really incredible synth-heavy tracks that make this album incredibly nostalgic, but also incredibly futuristic. The song I'd like to talk about combines the term for an underdog who comes out on top and what you would yell if you were chasing after a rascally youth, and that is, "Come back, kid." You thought that was a joke, but in her lyrics she really draws upon both meanings of the phrase, "Come back, kid." It's a track that just has really awesome soaring synths, some driving drums, and really amazing vocals by Sharon Van Etten herself. Something that creates an incredible soundscape. To me, it almost sounded like the song Kids of America brought into the modern day. Definitely check out the rest of the album, especially the song 17, which I really enjoyed and was really going back and forth whether to review that song or this song. I would say this song is only 30% skippable. Go add it to your playlist now. Last, we have a song by an artist named John the Blind, one of the names for John Ryan. Now, John Ryan has written music for a lot of popular artists, from John Legend to One Direction. In fact, he actually wrote most of One Direction's most recent music, going back about 4 albums. His songwriting really comes through in this new track that he's put out under the name John the Blind, and the song is called 2 Months. Now, I feel like every other week I'm bombarded with some new Chainsmokers track or some twisted Jimmy Fallon late night TV show game where you hit the button and it pairs a random music producer to a random female vocalist, and half of the song will be slow and dreamy, the other half of the song will be
disappointing drops.
So when I heard this song 2 Months, I was so pleasantly surprised. It's definitely an electronic track, it's a dance track, but it's also a lot deeper than any Chainsmokers track I've ever listened to, and a lot more interesting than any song that Target comes out with for the Super Bowl. It's oddly introspective, while at the same time dancey. I would say only 15% skippable. And that's all we have for today. Hopefully through these many songs we found one that you thought was interesting or that you enjoyed. Hopefully you've been able to boost your playlist a little bit and add to your perfect shuffle. If you like what I'm doing here, like this video, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and go ahead and check out that music that I suggested. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed any songs that came out this week that I should listen to again. I'm Trent Windsor, and this has been The Perfect Shuffle. Ariana, the baddie.